Hello everybody, welcome back to our podcast called The Anything Club, in which we speak about anything. So, what are we talking about today?
So, today's topic, we were going to talk about New Year's resolutions and whether we think they are pointless or do they serve a purpose. Does anyone even follow a New Year's resolution, actually complete it, is what I want to know.
Have you set yourself New Year's resolutions for this year, 2022?
No, because as you'll figure out in this podcast, my opinion is that they're pointless. So, no, I haven't. I haven't set myself a resolution. Have you?
Guilty. Okay, there's this thing going around right now. I don't know if it's every year, but every time I see someone speak about New Year's resolutions, someone that set them, they always give this like disclaimer as if New Year's resolutions are just so cringy, because they always say, "Oh, I've not set myself New Year's resolutions this year. I've set myself New Year goals."
Yeah.
So I don't know what the difference is between a goal and a resolution. A resolution is something that you want to change, and a goal could just be something that you don't want to change but you want to strive for.
You want to strive for. See,
Maybe.
My opinion is more that you should set a goal.
So you're in that camp of no resolutions, they're not for me, but I'll set a goal.
I just think there's a huge stigma around New Year's resolutions, and I think it's unhealthy.
Okay,
because
yeah,
I think it just sets you up for failure.
Unless you achieve your goals.
Who does that?
The end.
I would like to know in the comments below, actually, who actually has set themselves a goal, a New Year's resolution,
Not a goal.
last year, year before, whenever, and actually wholeheartedly, genuinely achieved it.
Do you know what? Just as a quick detour, I would love to be a gym owner for the new year.
Oh, gosh.
And then just shut down at like March. When everyone has like wasted their money
And
left.
on the lead up to Christmas and just the lead up to summer, because everyone wants their summer bods, and at Christmas they want to lose a little bit of cargo.
They want to make room for the additional cargo.
For the amount of food. And then in the new year, definitely. But that's not really, that's besides the point. But yeah, definitely.
Have you set yourself New Year's resolutions before this year?
Yes.
And you failed them all?
Every time. And
Let
because
me
they're
guess, they've always been lose weight, eat healthy, go for runs. Am I right?
You wouldn't be wrong.
No.
So yeah, my goals have always been, because I've been up and down with my weight all my life. So my goals were always, as somebody who can relate to that, resolutions, I need to get it right. My resolutions were always eat healthier, just be healthier inside and out, exercise more, all that stuff. Never worked.
Do you know why
Literally
I think
never
they don't
worked.
work? Because your goals are not specific goals. They are just goals. Like, they just lose weight. Okay, that means absolutely nothing. How much weight do you want to lose? How are you going to get there? How many times a week are you going to go to the gym? What are you going to do at the gym? Like, they need to be really specific, I think, to attain the goal. Otherwise, it's just like this dream that you can never reach.
Yeah, and I think that's a problem, especially with the goal of losing weight. I'm using this as an option, as an example, because that's just the only one I can think of, and that's a very common resolution, I think.
Probably the most common.
Or
stop smoking.
Yeah, all that. And I've lost my train of thought completely. What was I saying?
You're saying a really great point, weren't you? Do you remember?
You
were saying a thing about goals and resolutions. You were saying that an example. Yeah, go down. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that.
I think I was going to go with what you were saying about how if you set the bar too high for yourself, you're just setting yourself up to fail. Like if I said to myself at the beginning of the year, I want to lose 2 stone, and I want to have lost it by summer. Whilst that's achievable, maybe if you are really, really strict with yourself and you're really got your mind in the right place for that amount of time, that's 6 months, I just don't think that's going to happen. It's not realistic. Unless you take drastic action, which I don't recommend, because it needs to be a lifestyle change.
It's about having a SMART goal, isn't it? I know that's really cringy and throwback to like A-levels and GCSEs, but what is it? It's like specific, measurable.
I don't remember doing that.
We'll make our own.
Sorry.
Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and has a time frame. I don't know if that's a SMART target, but that is what we're going with.
Working with.
Yeah, so if you have them in your New Year's resolutions, you're probably more likely to achieve them. Anyway, I've set myself quite a few.
You have, haven't you? Do you want to share them?
So I've set myself personal goals and professional goals. So I split it like that, firstly. And then within them categories, I've got subcategories. Someone actually told me the other day on a comment on my other YouTube channel that there's this thing called the Wheel of Life. And the Wheel of Life basically breaks down different aspects of your life that you need to find contentment with to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
I think
what is
so.
It like social, career?
Yeah, basically,
like
yeah, finances, stuff like that. You could kind of tie my goals. I've fallen
Resolutions.
into those Wheel of Life categories, I suppose. So yeah, I've got my personal, my professional, and then subcategories. I don't want to share them all, but I'll give a few. I've set myself the goal of reading at least 30, but potentially 52 books in 2022. And I'm going to document it on my other YouTube channel as a way to keep myself accountable. And I'm doing that because I love reading and I get a lot from reading. I learn a lot and stuff. I want to find... how to say this one? It sounds silly if I say I want to find a job because it's not as simple as that.
You want to find a job that you enjoy.
Yeah, a job that I enjoy.
You don't want a job that's just paying you and then you're just living to work and just waiting for the weekend to come. That sucks.
Yeah, so I'm going to find myself one of those.
Good luck with that.
Do I look at Tesco? Do I look at Morrison? Is there any offers on them at the moment? But yeah, I'm going to find myself one of those whilst still doing all of the side stuff, with the goal of having a passive income plus a good salary. Yeah, I've got certain goals for the YouTube channel in terms of certain subscribers, certain achievements. But again, I won't go into all the specifics of those. But they're very specific. They don't just say get more subscribers. They say very much what amount and so on. Some other ones I want to ride my bike more.
That's one I have as well.
You want to learn to ride a bike?
I can ride a bike. I can ride a bike, okay? I'm just not confident on a bike.
Remind us what happened when we went to Thailand. Just tell
Okay,
everyone.
little segue here. I had a traumatic experience in Thailand. So we went to, where was it? Chiang Mai?
Chiang Mai, yeah.
When we were in Chiang Mai, it was, little did we know, it was the hottest day of the year in Chiang Mai.
I was loving it.
So we stayed at this Airbnb and they very kindly had let us have access to their bikes, like their bicycles. And we wanted snacks, knowing, obviously, we always want snacks. So we went to the nearest 7-Eleven.
Can I just say, though, quickly, these bikes were not... Okay, there was two bikes. Both were very much kid bikes. I'm much taller than Annabel is, so I took the largest one, which meant Annabel had a bike that was probably designed for like a 4-year-old. I had one that was probably more like a 7-year-old. Carry on.
And also, adding to that, the host of the Airbnb, when he gave us the bikes, he said, oh yeah, it's just a 6-7 minute cycle down the road to the 7-Eleven.
No, he told us it was like a 2-minute cycle.
Okay, he made it sound like it was achievable for someone like me.
And he told us, bearing in mind that we didn't know the area, he was like, take the first left, the second right, go 2 miles, take the next roundabout. Like, he told us all these...
It was hard.
Yeah, and we were like,
hard.
We're not going to remember that.
Anyway, you're ruining my story. So, we get on the bikes, and bear in mind I'm not that confident on bikes anyway, so I had a little... I had actually put some trousers on because I didn't want everything, my shorts like riding up or a skirt riding up or anything. You took the sensible choice and you wore something cool. Anyway,
I'm comfortable on a bike though, so I don't really care.
I wore linen trousers and I think I wore like something to cover my shoulders because it was hot, so I don't want to burn. Sensible, you may add. No. Well, basically... We had to stop several times in the first couple of minutes, 5 minutes, because we were trying to get where we were going.
Every 5 meters.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out where to go. Eventually we got onto the main road and it was just going to be straight down that road and it was going to be on the right, the 7-Eleven. And I was fine at the beginning. I was doing all right and I was like, I'm doing all right, I'm riding a bike, I'm fine. This was a busy Chiang Mai, busy road.
It would-
Cars, motorbikes.
Be
There was
like
no
the equivalent
pedestrians.
to our dual carriageway.
Yeah,
even.
there
Like,
was
it
no
big.
pedestrians, but it was very run down, as you might imagine. Anyway, and it was sandy at either side of the road, I remember. And yeah, it got to about 10 minutes into our cycle. We weren't there yet, may I add. And I started to feel very hot, very, very, very hot. And I was saying, "Oh, Hayley, I don't feel well. I'm too hot. Can we stop?" We stopped a couple of times. We didn't have any water because we thought we were going 2 minutes down the road to get said water. Yeah, so I then started to feel really funny, and I can't remember how it happened. This is all a bit of a blur now.
I know what happened. I will carry on.
Tell me what happened.
So we were coming up on the left hand. We were coming up on the left, cycling along the path, if you will, and we saw 7-Eleven, and we had to cross this really busy road. Okay, so
No, we hadn't seen 7-Eleven yet.
okay, we knew it was on the other side. Then we needed to cross
We
the
saw
road.
another place, didn't we?
We needed to cross the road basically, and the sensible thing would be to look either way, make sure no cars are coming, and cycle as quickly as you can across the road and just get there safely. So that's kind of what I was going with.
I have a feeling you're going to miss out a whole bit here.
Well, you can fill us in a minute, but basically what happened is we got to the middle of the road.
You've missed out a whole bit.
Do you want to carry on, then I'll come back?
It was the bit where I started feeling like I was going to die
Right,
that
okay.
you've missed out.
When we had to stop and ask them people.
Yeah, we had to stop, and I don't know what happened, but I was basically crouched over by this tree, feeling extremely sick and extremely dizzy, and that's when we started to cross the road, because you knew that I was dehydrated and I was being affected by the sun. I was severely dehydrated, and Hayley could see that I was probably going to pass out, and I felt like I was. I felt horrible, and I've never passed out in my life, so it was scary. And you saw that there was a little shack, almost like a little cafe thing,
Yeah.
that would have sold water. So Hayley was like, "We need to cross the road and get you some
That's
water,
right,
because we have nothing. We need to get that across there." And she didn't want to leave me because I was literally like passing out on the side of a busy road. So Hayley, with both bikes at either side of her and me under her arm, supporting me, had to get us across the road. And I remember all that I was
so
doing
hard.
was fumbling across the road. I didn't even know where I was. I didn't know what direction I was going in. I didn't know that I was probably going to get hit by a
The
billion
cars were beeping at you so much
I
because you
had
were
no
not
idea.
moving.
I had
was
no
I
idea.
was literally dragging you across the road with two bikes,
Yeah.
trying to just get you on the other side. At one point I was like, right, I'm going to leave the bikes in the middle of the road and just get you across. But the cars were beeping, and you were like saying, "I need to stop," and I was like, "No,
was in the
honey,
middle of the road,
you
yeah.
are not stopping." So I was dragging two bikes, walking myself, saying sorry to the cars, signing some autographs, drinking some water, having a party. You know, I was doing it all. But we got there.
We got there. And then you got me some water. This guy could see I was in distress, the owner of this shop. And I sat on the bench outside with some weird old guy. I think there was just an old guy sat there having a drink. And I sat
I think
there.
I got you an ice cream as well.
We got that 7-Eleven. But Hayley got me some water, and as soon as that water hit my mouth, I was okay. It's like everything just made sense again. I wasn't dizzy. Like, everything was absolutely fine. And it was the most bizarre thing. And I've never gone through something like that. I've never felt dizzy to the point that I thought I was going to pass out. I've never had that.
I think it's traumatised you from riding.
Yeah.
I like riding bikes, but Annabelle will never come on a bike ride.
Well, exactly. And that's moral of the story is now I'm scared of riding a bike because I'm just not confident on one. I wasn't confident before, but now I'm definitely not. And that later we then found out, obviously, it was the hottest day of the year in Chiang Mai. So the fact that we even went out on the bike and
We
I was
shouldn't have
covered
been
up
outside,
and didn't have water was stupid in hindsight. So yeah, that was the story of the Thailand bike saga.
I know what we should do. We've travelled quite a lot together, and we have some great stories. So maybe we should do story time one day.
We should start making a note of them.
Yeah.
Just when we remember, so we can do like episodes about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be funny. Anyway, so we were talking about a New Year's resolution or
I wanna
goal
ride a
of
bike,
cycling.
yeah.
And then I was saying, yes, me too. I would really like to get more confidence. So I think Hayley's going to try and teach me her confidence to ride a bike, but not until like March, April, when it gets lighter.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And a bit less cold.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm trying to, let me just see. I've got some, I have written down my resolutions, my goals on Notion. So let me just get them. I'm not going to share them all, but I'm just seeing if I've missed any. Yeah, so I've got professional and personal.
Oh my god, you actually made a whole document. She's made a document on Notion called 2022 goals, and then she's got subcategories, professional and personal.
Yeah.
And she's listed with a tick list every single one. Oh, she has.
Yeah, because this is what I want to do.
I mean, good on you, but
I can already
sounds
tick
like a nerdy moment you've just had.
I like lists. Yeah, so just a few more. I want to get my first step qualification into getting my accountancy qualification. I want to do the first set of tests in order to eventually become a qualified accountant. That's not really related necessarily to my career goals right now. It's something that I want in my arsenal for down the line. I like to acquire skills and knowledge, basically. So that's on here, broken down into specific points. I've got finance goals, how much I want to invest and what I want to invest into it per month across the year. And then if I go to my other section...
Personal goals.
I want to have at least three passive incomes that are all earning a certain amount each month. I'm not going to share that. So I've got my read 30 books and my read 52 books, so I can try and tick them off as I go.
I like the last one because that affects me too.
I want to have a good desk set up and a standing desk so I'm not slouched and hurting my back. And Annabelle's just referenced, this is the one materialistic item on my whole list, and that is to own a Sage coffee machine.
Oh, girls. I think that's like a life bucket list moment for both of us, actually.
When we say a Sage coffee machine, we mean the big boy.
The ones that cost like £3,000. They're not something to just purchase on a whim. It's not like that. It's an investment. And we've decided we love coffee enough to eventually make that investment.
This year, 2022, it's on the list. It's got to be done.
Oh, it's this year? Oh, of course it is. God. Yeah,
better find myself one of those good jobs.
Yeah. I better find myself a different one if we're going to afford that.
Yeah. So you think New Year's resolutions are pointless because
you're setting yourself up to fail.
For failure? I think,
it's just personal experience. That's what's happened to me every time.
I actually have never made a set of goals at the beginning of the year like I have this year. Never. I've always sort of had it in my head that I would do this or that, but it didn't really stretch to more than maybe 1 or 2 resolutions each year. And I never really took them seriously.
And you forget, if you don't write them down and make them, hold yourself accountable, exactly. You forget.
But this year I've done that. I've done that because there's lots of things I want to achieve. I don't want to forget about them. But anyway, what I was saying is I think there's 2 types of people. I think if you're someone that will set yourself goals and you will be really hard on yourself and get yourself down about not achieving them and feel like you failed if you don't achieve them, blah, 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 I don't think they're for you. But I think if you're a very goal-orientated person, then goals are great. Why not try and achieve certain things in the year? So I do think it depends on your personality type as to whether you should set goals, resolutions.
But then there's also the argument of why wait until a new year to do it?
Oh, I think that's
you can
rubbish.
Do it anytime.
Yeah, I think that's just an arbitrary thing that has popped up, new year, new me. It's just because it's a clear cut-off. People don't like to start unless they're like, right, today's the day.
Yeah, I do get that in terms of if I've ever said to myself that I want to start eating better. No, stop laughing at me. If I ever said I want to start eating better...
What day of the week does that have to start?
No, but it has to start on a Monday. Who can relate?
Why?
I can't... I can't start on a Wednesday afternoon. Like, that's just weird.
Because you can't lose weight on Wednesdays.
No,
Weightless Wednesdays.
No, but I have to start on a Monday. Otherwise, I feel like it's not right. I'm not gonna stick to it because it's not a clear cut start at the beginning of the week or the beginning of the month or the beginning of the year in this case. Stop laughing at me. You don't understand, okay?
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
Why not
so I can understand that in terms of wanting like a clear start because I'm
clean slate.
I'm a culprit of that for sure, and I'm trying to get myself out of that. Like I very much, I'm using losing weight because it's like my goal, like all the time. Not so much anymore, I don't think, but it used to be. Yeah, I've forgotten what I was saying. I've completely forgotten. God, what's wrong with me today? Yeah, carry on, Hayley, because I actually literally have just forgotten exactly what I was going to say.
Maybe...
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No, I don't remember.
Okay.
God.
I was saying that I think it depends on what type of person you are. But then I think you had a counterpoint to that.
What was my counterpoint?
Well, I don't know, you didn't say it.
Oh.
You tell us, enlighten us, please.
I don't remember. Don't even bother. I don't remember.
Okay, we'll let that one go. Do you want to set a goal for yourself right now, that's not to do with losing weight?
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about it, and I think my goal, kind of like one of your goals, is to read more.
Okay.
Because I too have been enjoying reading, probably not as much as Hayley has, but I'm enjoying it, and I'm nearly finished my first book of 2022, which is good for me because sometimes I'm not in a mood to read, so I end up missing a couple of nights where I don't read. So it's quite good for me to have actually already pretty much finished a book already in the year. Cycling, I want to be able to be more confident on a bike.
I feel like you're stealing my goals here.
No, but you inspire me, Hayley. You inspire a nation.
Thank you.
It's not about stealing, you just inspired me. Yeah, I think, and one of my big goals is for this podcast to get out to more people and be something that we do every single week for the whole year and beyond, but, you know, for the whole year, every Monday. I really want that to be something that we do and is successful. Of course I'd love it to be successful. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, it'd be cool if it was monetized and stuff like that.
If not, it's nice just to sit and chat about
we do this all
things
the time anyway, so why not
and
film
laugh
it?
about things and just reminisce about different things that's happened to us. And yeah, sharing it with you guys is just an added bonus, especially if that becomes successful. So yeah, I'm going to leave my goals at that because I don't want to, like you just said, I don't want to have a massively long list that I just forget about.
I have a list.
You have a list, but you've written it down.
I'm not going to forget about them.
And I'm not going to write it down.
I'm not going to have this list be really set in stone. As of the 1st of January, this is all I can do this year. I'm going to swap them out. I'm going to add. I'm going to delete them as applicable throughout the year. So yeah, I'm kind of someone that has just randomly made a list of what I want to do. It didn't really matter when it happened.
Yeah, and you're not someone who has to have a clean-cut start on the 1st of January.
No, I'll start it midway through the day, any day.
Yeah, you would have started on like the 28th of December. Like, that's how annoying she is. So, till 28th, I'm pretty sure you started these goals before New Year. Just before New Year.
Probably.
I couldn't do that, but never mind.
Doesn't bother
Each to
me.
their own. Yeah.
Let's do a podcast about perfectionists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because we're quite opposite.
We are. But let's not go into that now because we should do an episode because that is
Maybe we'll do that next
that
week.
is a big difference between us.
Yeah, we'll
the way we differ in that sense. But yeah, I mean, we're probably starting to yap on now.
Yeah. If you've got a New Year's resolution / goal, or you have any thoughts about setting yourself them, drop a comment, leave them in the comments below.
Yeah, I'm really interested to know what other people think about New Year's resolutions.
I think some people think they're a load of rubbish, some people really like them.
Yeah, and what are your goals? That's interesting.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to us blabber on again.
Again, if you're here for the second week in a row, I applaud you.
Off.
Thank you. Because, yeah, we talk a load of rubbish sometimes, but that's the point in this podcast, the Anything Club. We talk about anything that we fancy talking about. So if you've got any topics in mind that you think you'd like to hear our thoughts on, or just literally just hear us talk about, let us know again. Just leave anything you want in the comments. Just, yeah, whatever. So thanks for listening or watching.
Yeah, thank you. And we will be back in a week's time.
Next week.
With
Mondays at midday UK time. I think that's what we're going to stick with. We'll let you know if that changes.
Cool. Well, thank you for watching and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.